NBA trade deadline just ended today. And to be honest with you, most years, a lot of the action really just happens the day of. But as y'all have been seeing, it was early this year. They was mad early this year. So just to recap the trade deadline that we've had, because this is literally arguably the craziest trade deadline I've ever seen in my lifetime. I don't know about y'all. These are all the names that were moved. Some of these names would have been the headliner of certain trade deadlines. You know what I'm saying? So many people were waiting for when Zach LaVine would be traded. You know, that's a piece that in any other trade deadline, if he gets traded, that's the biggest trade. But this is a trade deadline that involved the likes of Luka Doncic, Jimmy Butler, Anthony Davis, Brandon Ingram, Zach LaVine, De'Aaron Fox, and going down here a little bit in tiers, actually a lot in tiers. You know, the Chris Middleton got traded, Bogey got traded, Dennis Schroeder got traded 4 times in 24 hours. That was insane. DeAndre Hunter got traded, JV got traded, Marcus Smart, Andrew Wiggins, Dalton Kennett, you know, Mark Williams. So I guess let's just start it off here. As far as, you know, some of the craziest trade deadlines y'all have ever seen, where does this rank?
I have a low-key hot take, man. And I know y'all going to correct me. Chad, you're going to cook me for this, and I deserve it. But I can't shake my feelings, bro. Honesty in 2025. It's number 1, but when I look at like 23, 22, 21, we've gotten like more of these than you think. That's all I'm gonna at least say. Like, we've gotten like Kyrie and Luka, KD to the Suns in 22. I'm just gonna vaguely look it up. 1 second. This is raw, but I feel like we've gotten this a little bit more. Yeah, we got like the Nets trade. We got Gobert. Well, Gobert, LOL. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've gotten some major trades the past couple of years. Now, the thing where this year stands out is, one, we'll never get a Luka for like 10, 15 years. But then 2, I think a lot of these situations were out of desperation due to the second apron, which 90% of us don't understand yet, but like, it definitely clearly means something. But then 2, just desperation in terms of team situations. I think a lot of teams are more desperate than normal this season, and we could discuss that. But no, I feel like a lot of big trades have been happening recently. So I'm not shocked by it as much as like 90% of y'all are. Maybe I'm just normalized. But yeah, I'm not surprised by it. However, was it exciting? Absolutely.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly disagree with Sage. We might have had years where it was like a trade or 2, but this many trades in abundance, like all at once in the span of a week, is what separates this from any other year. This is by far in my lifetime, at least when I've been really big on basketball, this is easily like a gap, the number 1 trade deadline. I've been glued to my phone like since the last pod, since last weekend. I've been glued to my phone, literally refreshing, just making sure when is Sham's going to tweet again for whoever gets moved. And it's been a likely chance that big names are getting moved. I know people are deciding if this is the second apron or if this is a result of, well, people seen Luka get the trigger pulled, so now everybody trigger figure itching. I think it's a result of that. Second apron, again, none of us knows what the fuck that even means or how it's really impacting teams. And maybe this is a case of that. Maybe it's just we're dumb. We don't know the back end of things, and this is the cause of that. I genuinely think this is a New Year's effect, which all my people that live in gun-heavy areas, once the first shots happen at New Year's, bah, 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 fa, 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 fa. It sets off a chain reaction. Luka was the first gunshot of the trade deadline. Everybody said, bet, hold my beer, and started letting them bitches fly.
Yeah, I can't even disagree with Damo. I was having a conversation with him earlier today about, and we've had this conversation on the pod too, that like, I feel like eras in the NBA are, this is like a vague categorization, but shit really changes every 5 years. I feel like I think the last time there was a big shift in the NBA was 2019. Anthony Davis, LeBron team up, KD and Kyrie to the Nets, Paul George and Kawhi to the Clippers. Like, that league was completely different from even the year before. The year before was the 2018-19 season. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Warriors were still dominating. In just a year, they aren't. I think this trade deadline is the next nexus event in the NBA. I don't even know if I use that term right. Like, I think moving forward, we are about to see a new age of the NBA that I think is going to be clearly defined by the moves made during this trade deadline. Because Luka alone changes a lot of things in the league, but Wemby getting the help that he needs, Anthony Davis and Kyrie pairing up, Zach LaVine and the Sacramento Kings moving on from De'Aaron is a whole move. I also think with the Hawks, I think they are really trying to look to move on from the Trae Young era now as well. So a bunch of different things. I don't want to shoot the load here too much, but I think, and we'll get into some more Laker talk here in a second. I think for us, I think it is very clear that the biggest winner of this trade deadline is the Los Angeles Lakers. But assuming you can't say the Los Angeles Lakers, who do y'all think is the biggest winner of this trade deadline?
This is a trick question.
Oh yeah, it's super easy. San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, what the fuck?
They were able to get all-star, borderline superstar, depending on who you talk to, level point guard without giving up any of the young core and really handicapping themselves with future draft picks, like being off the books. I don't understand how they did it. Everyone is calling Nico the dumbest GM in the league. No, I think he has competition, because to walk out of that trade and all you gave up was Trey Jones, shout out Trey Jones, and Zach Collins, shout out Zach Collins, but you didn't come off Keldon Johnson, who everyone just knew would have been moved, Devin Vassell, Castle, hell, even Jeremy Sochan, which everyone was like, he had to get moved. You didn't come off any of those four. You were able to get De'Aaron. You kept Chris Paul, and with the Wemby timeline is sped up, and you didn't force it. I know Wemby's rookie year, everyone's big thing was, hey, man, trust the process. Don't rush it. Don't force it. Let Wemby develop. And that nigga kicked the door in like Luka. Develop what? Nigga, I'm him. Let's get some help around here. They got Chris Paul. It changed the culture. They look more competitive. And now they got De'Aaron Fox. So they can actually compete as a playing team this year. And going forward, hell, the rest of the players are going to develop.
That Spurs trade is so good, it gave the Lakers a run for their money, to be honest with you. Like, don't get me wrong, the answer is still the Lakers, just on, keep it simple, stupid. Nigga, they got Luka. Their whole thing was no LeBron AD. But, no, it's definitely the Spurs at two. No conversations really needed outside of what Damo already said. I was shocked that they were able to keep those guys, and I found it funny that we were like all falling in love with Trae Young and Wemby, and then De'Aaron Fox was right there, like the entire time. Now maybe we thought that they were going to explore Fox and Sabonis a bit longer. Maybe that's why nobody really even connected those dots. I know a lot of people fell in love with the DeMar DeRozan move because a couple of seasons ago he was top 5 to some of you. But yeah, no. Once that shit was clearly off the rails, we should have been talking about Fox to San Antonio way earlier than we were. So yeah, I'll say that. If I have to pick a third place, I do think there is a major gap between the Lakers and the Spurs and everybody else. Not that a lot of other teams didn't win, but I think it's a clear one too. I'll go ahead and say, shit. Do I like? Damn. Yeah, come back to me. I'm thinking between a couple things.
You know what's crazy? I think your response right here is kind of like telling of whatchamacallit. What I'm thinking of this trade deadline is because outside of the Lakers and the Spurs, I feel like this trade deadline was just, and maybe it was kickstarted off by Luka. A lot of teams were just sitting on stars for way too long. They were getting cold feet. Like, I'm looking at it right now. The Heat should have been traded Jimmy Butler before this. Zach LaVine, Chris Middleton, Brandon Ingram, Andrew Wiggins. Like, all these players should have been traded by now. And there's still a couple. Like, I'm tired of hearing Miles Turner every single year. I feel like, that's one of the names I would have loved to see during this trade deadline. Let's just dead that shit. Let's fucking move him. Same thing with like a John Collins or something like that. So I'm gonna be honest, outside of the Lakers and the Spurs, to your point, there is a very big gap in terms of like who the winners are for this trade deadline.
I'm thinking maybe Toronto is up there.
The Cavs.
I was about to say the Cavs. That's a very under the radar good pickup. Even though I'm not the biggest DeAndre Hunter guy, the fact that they were able to pick up a significant 3-and-D wing and not give up too much, in my opinion, pretty goddamn good for a number 1 seed in the East.
Yeah. So I mean, if we're stuck on the winners, that's cool.
Oh yeah. We're stuck on the winners, but I want to get back before we pivot subjects. That now you're onto something about like this whole stars thing. I think this deadline more than emphasizing that there's a lot of teams holding on to stars, there's a lot of teams that are slowly but surely, and I said it in a way that it'll trigger some people till you realize I'm not licking boots, twin, but some of these owners are getting tired of their shit. they just are. When I'm thinking about how many disgruntled superstars are getting packed up, but this time it's not really on like their terms necessary. Like the Jimmy shit, you could argue he kind of forced a little bit of his power there, but like at the same time, it felt like Miami was just sick of him more than anything. Luka, I mean, my God, I don't need to explain that. De'Aaron Fox is probably the only one where it was on some shit like, okay, they just made a trade just cause. But I think what we're going to continue to see as the years go by is if you're not carrying yourself like a professional, franchise is tired of you, they're getting you out. That's one. Two, and I think one that all of us can agree on, the NBA, my theory from last year, micro victory lap, I think is correct. It's going to be an all or nothing league. It's going to be a league where, you ain't going to win shit unless you push them chips to the table. So we could talk about a lot of teams that didn't do the most that we can be concerned about. This is everybody's favorite team, for example, but I thought OKC would make more noise. But they're damn good, so like they don't have to. But like I just get the feeling that that's what the NBA is now. You gotta really say fuck it, all on black, all on red, or whatever to get the championship. Because that's just what these teams are looking like nowadays, or what these trades are looking like nowadays.
Damo, I thought you were about to say something.
Oh no, I know Sage had brought up the Raptors in terms of a team that you could say was a winner.
Maybe I'm misremembering it.
Okay. No, I definitely agree. Brandon Ingram going there in terms of their timeline with what they want to do with Scottie Barnes. They believe Scottie Barnes can be a number one. I heard people complaining about the Brandon Ingram trade, like, oh, what does that do for them? That gives them a bona fide number 2 or 3. Yeah. And if they want to move off of Quickly and or RJ, if they have a crisis on what position should Scottie play, that gives them the freedom to do that, and they can get some other pieces and assets. So I think that was a good move from them. A lot of these trades, outside of any trades the Wizards made, I kind of looked at it and was like, I kind of get except for the Bucks, except the Bucks. The Bucks going Middleton for Kuzma, lateral move. Like I don't know what that thought process.
They just more
did
rebounding.
Something. They just wanted to do something. I guess they just wanted to show Giannis we're active too. I know you said your dream is all Euros go to a big market. We're making moves, Giannis. Watch, like no, buddy, that was ass move. Other than that, the Kings getting JV next to Sabonis, which crazy front court. Offensively, cool. Defensively, good luck, Sacramento. Outside of that, yeah, the rest of the trades were, as they said, they were just trades.
Yeah, I seen somebody in the chat talk about the Kings sneaky W. I don't like that. I'm not a fan. I see where you're coming from, but like considering what those picks probably will be, and then considering what Zach LaVine means to your team, I'm not a fan. Because like, how high is this LaVine value is going to be? Go ahead.
If that Charlotte pick wasn't protected, it would have been a genuine win for them.
Much better.
Initially, when I seen it, I was like, damn, they got this year's Charlotte pick and Zach LaVine? Oh, these niggas cooked. As soon as I put that, gang, that shit top 14 protected.
Yeah.
Them niggas are the second worst team in the East. That means it's their pick. These niggas traded away De'Aaron Fox essentially for Zach LaVine, which it could be worse. You could trade Middleton for Kuzma, but I wouldn't have did it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I guess let's go ahead and move on to the losers. Who is your, without saying the Dallas Mavericks, who is your biggest loser this trade deadline?
I wouldn't even say that they're the biggest.
I'm not saying nobody better say Dallas.
I'm gonna say we don't need to X them out of this conversation in sense of talking. But well, you can talk about Dallas then. I don't think they're the biggest loser. I think, unironically, we talk about the Kings. I think that honestly, Damo, you might have brought them up. The Bucks are close to me because they didn't do anything. I don't.
Wait, I'm being so serious. Now I'm curious because y'all don't think the Dallas Mavericks are the biggest losers?
No, I would say the Sixers.
Hell no.
I was gonna say the Philly.
I would say my pick would be the Pelicans.
Or the Pelicans. Yeah, I'm looking towards teams that did nothing. I know that's the cop-out answer, but a lot of these teams, especially fucking Philly, considering Luka set the tone, the idea that like y'all are just really going to say fuck it and lay over and ball is kind of ridiculous to me. I talked about OKC not pushing chips to the table. I would have liked to see Denver try to upgrade as well, but again, these are teams that are already good, so nobody's gonna really bat an eye. But yeah, no, Philly, what the fuck? You didn't do anything. Phoenix,
I ain't gonna lie. I gotta disagree, Sage.
I might go.
I think there are certain teams where they are losers for not doing shit. But if we look back 4 or 5 years down the line, I swear to God, like the teams who did not do shit will not be remembered as opposed to the team that traded away Luka at 25, bro. Like I don't.
The thing with that, okay, I'm not one of these people because I had to sit on it. Pause was needed. I had to think about the Mavs trade a little bit more on my non-troll Chip Skylark shit, and it really hit me. Chad, we might have burnt the stove a bit in terms of trying to say the Mavs are going to be OD fantastic, because my one concern with them is that they're the 11th seed. These niggas do got a long way to go, and when you're looking at the teams above them, not predicting too many of them are going to drop. So that's my.
I think they have one of the hardest schedules in the league too.
Yeah. That's my concern with them, that we won't see that immediate payout until next season. However, as stupid as this is going to sound, I think even next season they're going to show you that they're more than damn good enough of a team for me to claim that they're the biggest loser of the deadline.
I just like what they got in return for giving up Luka, so I'm just not gonna. It just, out of all the returns we've seen for other players that got moved, them getting Anthony Davis, Max Christie, 2 players that work for the philosophy that they're trying to push, and it still helps their team be competitive. I'm not calling them a loser. I don't agree with the Luka trade, but it could have been way worse. For me, I'm saying it's the Pelicans, not even just the trade deadline, this year in general. Dyson Daniels is looking like a fucking stud in Atlanta, a defensive juggernaut in Atlanta, a very productive player in Atlanta, and you came off of him by not giving, and you didn't give him an opportunity he literally needed because you was playing Jose Alvarado for whatever reason, but you traded him for DeJounte Murray, who has had 2 career-ending injuries in 1 season. I didn't even know that was possible. He did it twice this year. That nigga,
casual. I didn't even know.
He had 2 career-ending injuries twice this season. Zion is still not able to just consistently play. At least if he is, I'm a casual and I don't know. But it feels like Zion isn't. He's not playing back-to-backs. He's still not consistently playing. Then you get off of Brandon Ingram, which I said this 2 years ago. You need to trade him or Ingram. And guess what? You didn't even get a good haul in return for Brandon Ingram, or at least anything valuable or worth it. You got Kelly Olynyk in 25, by the way. You got Bruce Brown, which, again, does he even play ball anymore? I just hear his name. Ever since he left the Nuggets, I just heard the nigga name. I knew he was getting paid a lot of money, and he was a champion with the Nuggets. I don't even know if Bruce Brown plays basketball anymore. You got those 2, and you got 1 pick out of Brandon Ingram. You traded Anthony Davis to get Brandon Ingram. The assets that I want to say, there was a stat that said that they have traded every asset from the Laker trade, from the 80 trade. They have got rid of every asset from that trade. And what do they have to show for it? Nothing. Pelicans are by far the biggest losers.
The Sixers gave up Reggie Jackson in a first for Jared? I didn't even know that. Yeah, I really don't like him.
I know the Celtics just got Torrey Craig. Souls?
Man. May gonna be in the city. Hey.
There's
I will say this. Cause I personally think Dallas is cheating in this conversation. My runner-ups to Dallas, Golden State and the Suns.
I'm not gonna lie.
Golden State and the Suns, bro.
I don't think. Okay, hear me out before y'all skook me. I don't think Golden State is this dark horse Western hero. Not at all. However, I think in a weird way, we're downplaying what they're going to do immediately. Long term, they're fucked. We understand that. They're paying 2 players under $10 million. Then you got to pay Kuminga, which you're likely not even going to pay him. Unfortunately, the nigga might even walk, depending on how fuck shit goes, right? But you also got Moody making like 12. You got Draymond making like 20 or whatever, right? But in the immediate future, if they find a way to climb just a little bit to make it to the dance, I mean, we talking about a team where y'all love that playoff Jimmy shit. According to viewers, according to the NBA fans, you have that alongside Steph Curry, so the offense is going to be a lot better. I think we're going to see Curry look way better just on virtue of responsibility. You have Draymond there. I don't think this team's piss poor defensively. They still have good shooting in Buddy Hield. They got an athletic big. Granted, I don't think he's the best big out there, but with Trace, I'm not saying that they gonna make noise, but to call them a loser when they got better, they were in a fuck situation. I think they're stupid. I think the Warriors are stupid. I don't think they're losers because they got better. I don't think there's an argument for how the Warriors got worse after their trade.
I
Oh,
think,
buddy,
but
I can
before
make it.
Dama goes, I think the reason why I say the Warriors are up there is not necessarily because of what happened during this trade deadline, but just the level of desperation that this team has shown to the point where I truly believe, and I understand they're just riding the ship with they're sinking with the ship with Steph Curry. At this point, bro, if maximizing the last 2 years of Steph Curry's career is bringing on Jimmy Butler and making him the highest paid player in the league, just trade Steph Curry.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yep.
So that's where I'm coming from. And then the what was the other team I brought up? The Suns, kind of on the similar lines, bro. They are stuck in no man's land with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. You know how bad of a franchise you have to be stuck in no man's land with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker while they are still playing well. Like that is just insane to me. And now you have a fractured relationship with Kevin Durant, another player who apparently didn't even want to get traded. Like he's cool with chilling in Phoenix. But now there's tension there because you just tried to fucking trade him and failed. You fucking failed at trying to trade him. So they're stuck. They can't even win a championship in the short term. They're fucked in the long term. The Suns, I think, to me, just proved to be hands down the worst situation in the league after this trade deadline.
And it's 100% their fault, and that's why I could
thank
agree with you with the Suns point. The Warriors thing, I mean, hey, the Warriors are the Warriors. We're talking about an 11th seed. I'm with Sage. They got Jimmy Butler there. I feel like they can come up from the 11th seed. Looking at the standings right now. By the way, Dallas is an 8th seed while getting Anthony
I
Davis.
thought they were 10.
Nah, nigga, 10 is the Phoenix Suns. They're 8th seed. 10 is the Phoenix Suns. They're 8th seed. I think Dallas has a good chance of making some noise. But I'm with Souls. Phoenix is definitely my second behind the Pelicans, who are the last seed in the West, by the way. But yeah, Phoenix is definitely there at 10. This is all karma for literally blowing up a championship unit for no reason. You could have came off DeAndre Ayton and everybody would be like, I get it. Even though he just came off the best playoff performance, like that was the best he ever played. That's peak DA. I can see coming off of him. But trading him, Cam Johnson, Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges,
don't like him, but Mikal,
everybody, like they traded everybody and said to get Kevin Durant and eventually Bradley Beal. Like it was the most insane thing ever. So they 100% deserve this, and I'm glad they're suffering. They should suffer for eons, and I hope Devin Booker just stays a career Phoenix Sun. I think it works just fine for him. I'm with Souls. I can see Phoenix being a strong second. I got Pelicans as 2, but I got Pelicans 1. Phoenix is a good second, but I'm not going with the Warriors. I think the Warriors did get better. All the shit I give Jimmy, they got a top 10 playoff performer. You know, I was talking to Warrior fan. I was talking to my guy Sanchez, man, the biggest Warrior fan I know. Look, y'all the heat of that West. What y'all West Coast Miami?
You are.
No one wants to. Who wants to see that Warrior team as a 7th or 8th seed? Not me. I don't want to see those guys as a 7th or 8th seed. I don't want to see them in the play-in. That's a dangerous lineup for any team as the 1st or 2nd seed. I think that's
all
a great
the 8
for the
10
Warriors.
seeds, though. I don't.
That's not all the 8 for 10 seeds. That's not all of them.
What are going to be the playing teams? Like, predict them, because Golden State about to move up.
If we ended the season right now, I would just say, ending the season right now, the playing teams out west, let's just stick out west, will be Minnesota, Dallas, Sacramento, Phoenix. I can tell you right now, don't nobody get no fuck about Phoenix. I'm licking my chops at Sacramento right now.
True.
And then I would say Dallas is scary, and then the Timberwolves, I'm licking my chops with them too. I'm not gonna lie. I want to see them niggas. Please give me Julius Foulius throwing inside lobs. Yeah, please. I would love to see that. So there's only one dangerous team as of right now.
I am. You're saying right now. I am just expecting the Spurs to get in there, and Wemby and De'Aaron as a 10 seed. I don't want to face that.
No. If they get there, yeah, I'm concerned if they can make the ground up, because I think the West, the clear drop is going to be the Kings. Maybe if the Clippers just run into a wall for some fucking reason, but I
think the Suns are going to drop. I ain't gonna lie. I think the chemistry issue is going to be crazy.
Honestly, I think what's going to happen is between seeds 9 and what is it, 11, 12? Between seeds 9 and 12 is going to be super fucking 12. It's going to be super close. Between the 9th and 12th seed is going to be super close. And it's going to be like a game or two difference, and that's where it'll get somebody get edged out. Pause. Other than that, though, the only team that is dropping that is here right now, in my opinion, will be the Kings and the Suns. So that's 2 spots.
Yeah, how do y'all feel? Because we haven't talked about it. We talked about the Suns being stupid, and the Bradley Beal trade was the embodiment of stupidity. But how do y'all feel about them essentially, like, in a way, the reason why they weren't my frame one losers, and I went with the weird pick like Philly, is because I think they had 100% control and just chose to do nothing. The Phoenix Suns, they kind of like, they made their bed and they laid in it for me. And while that's still bad, they are a loser. I think to give them a bit of slack, yo, that nigga Beal got an NTC. What are they gonna do? Like, you legally can't trade Beal. You can have bad PR and tell Kevin Durant to fuck off, but you can't trade Bradley Beal. So now you're stuck with there. There's no way you trade Debo. Oh shit, Luka. Never mind. I guess you can trade. You know what? I guess you can trade Devin Booker. There's no such thing as unrealistic trade. But for the most part, you wouldn't trade Devin Booker. But basically, I think Phoenix was in a situation where their hands were tied. They're definitely still losers. I don't think they're losers. But I think, like, I just hold more merit to teams like Philly, to teams like Milwaukee that kind of just like trolled it. Because I feel like they had the opportunity to do more and just said,
but you know what's crazy? Why I disagree with that? Because Philly could not imagine drafting a rookie and then him tearing up his leg.
That was fucked.
They couldn't imagine. I mean, we could imagine Joel Embiid getting hurt, but they, going into this season, it's year 12. There's no way he gets hurt again, right? And he is. They bring on Paul George. They're at least trying to do things that at least fit. Pause. What the Suns are doing, I'm not gonna lie, they're justified to trade Devin Booker. You have no future. You literally had a championship lineup and you squandered it. You went and chased stars for 2 seasons, 3 seasons. You put together the weakest super team of all time, and it just doesn't work. Bradley Beal has a no trade clause, and he's not waiving it because his family's comfortable in Phoenix. Kevin Durant is not trying to get traded nowhere. In terms of saving your franchise, you have to trade Devin Booker now, right? You have to try to get future assets. Essentially, what everyone thought the Dallas Mavericks could have got for Luka or should have got for Luka, that's what they got to trade Devin Booker for. You got to go get 17 picks. You got to go and get 2 young stars and 7 picks. Like, you have to do that now. Because if not, you're going to be the West Coast Wizards.
Oh, yeah, I think they are so stuck right now. Like, I don't think they even think they can be a championship contender. I think that's why they're looking at trading KD, and their future is so fucked that I think they have literally forced themselves to trade Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. And given that they don't have leverage in these trades because they're the ones that need to trade D-Book and KD, I don't even think they're going to maximize the returns for D-Book and KD. And that's such a... You gotta be really bad at your fucking job to be in a situation where you're trying to trade Devin Booker and KD and you don't have leverage. That is insane, bro.
Yeah, they're pretty fucked. There's no discussion there. I don't know. What y'all are saying just objectively makes more sense. Maybe I'm just trying to be the guy that goes left when everyone goes right here. I just think, hey man, kind of like how you're saying with the Suns, nigga. And maybe I'm just a Philly hater, low key. Pack that shit up. just get that shit. Because I think they're turning into a team in the NBA. Like they already were the team that you think is gonna fall. That's been them. But now they're 20 and 30. They're not only old, but their young niggas are hurt. So the only niggas that are playing are fucking ancient, unless I'm mistaken. Man, just put the fries in the fucking bag, hit the fucking button, and move on. Like, this shit is the process has failed. We've known this for about 5 years now, if not 10. Pack it up, bro.
Yeah, so many teams have hit the button. If you haven't hit the button, you are now the stupid one. And I'm talking to the 76ers. I'm talking to the Pelicans. Low-key at this point, I am also talking to the Warriors. They got to hit that. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, the Warriors, they're trying to do the Curry respect thing. I think it's just... That's weird. Because, like, on one hand, I'll wake up and I'll be like, bro, that's Curry, man. Like, and that's going to sound stupid.
Yeah.
That's Curry, man. But then on the flip side, nigga, if you traded him, I mean, every team but the Lakers and the Thunder are going to be like, ooh, gimme. And the Knicks are going to be like, ooh, gimme. So It's a tough.
I'm not gonna lie. Somebody gotta go out like Kobe. Somebody gotta go out like Dirk. And I'm not gonna hold you. The only
You think
nigga
it's
capable of
Curry?
doing that is Steph Curry.
Steph
Like
Curry.
I get it. To us, the fans, it makes sense to just say, fuck it, bite the bullet, trade Steph. It makes the most sense. You're wasting his prime. To them dollars is making sense. Them jerseys are still selling, and that is still Steph motherfucking Curry. I'm trading Draymond. I'm trading the owner. I'm trading the stadium before I trade Steph Curry. So if I'm the Warriors, hey gang, put your hands back on your pockets and sit on them bitches. Because there's no reason to trade Curry, in my opinion.
I guess I'm just coming from like the other perspective in this, because as a Celtics fan, this is kind of reminding me of like Paul Pierce and KG's last years. And, you know, instead of letting Paul Pierce and KG retire as a Celtic, we traded them and got them Brooklyn picks. And now, like, our future is where it's at. So that's where I'm looking like with the Warriors. I get it. Like, I get it. You know, Curry is one of them ones. Curry means more to the Warriors than even Paul Pierce and KG mean to the Celtics. So I get it. I get it. Like, same thing with Sage. I could wake up one day, hey, man, that's Curry. Hey, man, you just got to, you know, go down with the ship. But at the same token, bro, I don't know. You can make a case it is being selfish to just, like, bomb your future just because it's Curry. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. I assume, unless we're no longer talking basketball, I assume we're about to talk on some shit like now include Lakers, or what do you think happens in the future in terms of like the immediate like winners, or not winners, but like who's gonna win the season? Yap.
Oh,
But
no,
I
we're
guess,
winners. So that
yeah,
we
we're
are the
definitely winners. But I will say
a
this:
given.
who, before we pivot to whatever conversation we're going to, who do you think next season? Name the player who you think next season is gonna be like the star of the deadline.
Yeah.
Just
Trae Young.
Trae Young.
It should be either Trae Young, Devin Booker.
Embiid.
Yeah,
They're not moving off Embiid.
I don't
They're
think
not
they are,
moving
but
off
I'm
Embiid.
praying it's Embiid.
Why not? You think it's on some Curry shit?
Absolutely. At this point, absolutely.
Brother.
They've held on to.
I
They've
think they're
held on to
stupid,
him.
these souls. I
Listen.
think they're stupid.
They have held on to him. So let me understand. They've held on to him for what is now his 11th season. He has not been healthy in any of the 11 seasons. And when they drafted him, he missed his first 2 seasons. They have got rid of Markel, Ben Simmons. They got rid of Mikal Bridges on draft night. They have got rid of everybody. He is still there. They are not coming off of Joel Embiid unless niggas get on the phone. Hey, this is Pat Riley. We are so sick of Bam. We love Embiid. Or the
they go to some
Cavaliers
lateral
call.
shit.
Like, hey, you know what? Evan Mobley fucked my wife. We're sick of him. Like, that's the only way they're coming off of him. They got to get Nico'd. That's the only way you're getting rid of Embiid if it's a Nico situation. So he's not. I'm thinking of realistic guys that can actually be moved. Trae Young. Who else did I say? I said Trae Young, Devin Booker, and low key. Watch out for Lauri Markkanen, man. The Jazz fire sale.
Yeah,
Watch out for the Utah
point.
Jazz fire. Danny Ainge, especially after being on the end of a fleece job for getting Luka.
Oh, he mad now.
He is about to go into this summer, and he about to put fire sale on everybody, nigga. Everyone's gone.
Yeah, I don't think KD makes it to 2026, so I'm not gonna say him. I think KD's off season like fuck. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think it's gonna be time for Zion. I think they've had enough. By the middle of next season, I don't think the Pelicans are gonna be that good, and I think they pull a button on Zion.